Good afternoon, Jason. Good afternoon, everybody. And they look to be a time, as we look at it, just short of 5.5 hours for these 16 frames that have been played in the first two sessions. But it looked for a time, Willie, as though Mark Selby had got the upper hand and was going to run away with this. Winning those last two frames last night by Xiao Guodong gives him a bit of hope here.
It does, John, absolutely. And I've been very impressed with him. I know he's been a pro for some 10 years, and you'd have thought, well, if he's a good player, he'd have done better so far. But he's really took Mark Selby to the sword here, and Mark Selby's produced two very, very good clearances to be that 4 frames in front rather than all square. But this boy can play. I'm a little surprised he hasn't done better before now. That's how good I rate him. A little bit naive. There was a game when he was 60-odd points in front yesterday and should have put a bought colour safe rather than played with black, which was only an extra 7 points. And that's one that Selby ended up winning.
And he's actually 10 points ahead on points scored in this match. Amazing, and he's 4 frames behind. He didn't play the best safety shot there, didn't Xiao? And that's why he's now in trouble. Just play a containing safety, can't get the cue ball back to the balk end.
One of the amazing stats, John. We're right into the second round of this tournament now, and Mark Selby's yet to make a century.
Very surprising.
The beauty of Mark Selby, as we all know now, John, is so hard to beat, and even if he's not playing at his best, he somehow finds a way to win.
Caught that a bit too thin. But the rattle in the jaws has made it a better safety shot than it was. Yes, I think Mark Selby come the longer matches. His game tailor-made for it. There is a couple of reds he could play the pot on, but too risky. Just making certain he's not going to knock anything towards the right corner here. Needs to miss the brown for it to be a good safety. He has. So it is a good safety, that one.
Got to be a little careful with this thin safety shot. He's playing actually a shot to nothing, I think. He's playing to pot this in the corner. A long way away, but he was making sure of the cue ball.
See here the advantage of getting that cue ball tight to the balk cushion. Plenty of reds he can hit. Got to avoid the kiss on the red on the right hand side cushion as we like. So we've got to catch this just right. Too thick, much too thick. Result. Is it a result? Well, maybe not. I think Mark can just get past the blue for this red. And he could.
One.
Not got the right angle on the blue, but I think the pink may be available. But it just shows you that one good safety shot, get that cue ball tight under the baulk cushion, force the mistake from his opponent.
Just around the cue ball a couple of inches too far. Don't think the black's available into the left-hand corner, but it can clearly play the red next to the pink and get onto the pink again into the right-hand corner. And the reds are spread lovely.
8.
And Mark Selby now becoming a pass master at when you get a chance to make sure you score heavily.
Yeah, and I know when he first started playing, Willie, he started in your snooker club in Leicester. Did you spot the talent straight away, or because I remember when I first saw him play, his cue action was a little bit long, and he just felt as he really got it. When did you first notice that he was destined for the top?
Well, he'd always got a top 32 safety game, but his break building wasn't good enough, and I always say this in commentary, that Neil Robertson and Mark Selby, both of which started playing at my club in the first, it was Neil when he first came over, are the most improved players I've ever seen.
20.
I mean, Mark Selby was not going to be a journeyman, he was always a decent player, but never going to be a top 16 player, and then all of a sudden, as you rightly say, he got cueing closer to the cue ball and improved 40 points overnight, and now
21.
he's one of the best players we've had. So solid. I don't think I've ever seen anybody work harder, John, as well. He'd be in my club
27.
8 hours a day at play. Never stopped.
Well, I think that's the secret to success, the hard work. But you can only put in that hard work if you actually love the game and you want to do it. So it's go for the
28.
yellow. Oh, sorry, the pink. It's okay. Straighter would have been better. And he just underhit that slightly. And a little look up to the
34.
balcony where his supporters are. Not happy with that one. So a little bit of work to do now with this cue ball.
Yes, he'd been trying for 3 shots to get a nice angle on a red to get onto the black. That when that black goes back at his own spot. He's potted 18 out of 18 with the rest, but he's got a little bit to do with the cue ball here, because I don't think he can play it slow enough to get onto the black. So if he decides to go around the back of the black to get onto the pink in the middle, it's a good shot, this. Good recovery.
Yes, excellent shot. Just the path of the cue ball and the pace to perfection.
Now, can he get a good angle on this red to the right of the black this time to be able to get the black back onto his own spot? He's okay this time. Can either go around the back of the black or screw it direct. I think he's going to have to go around the back of the
41.
black.
Well, I like you thought he may have screwed around the back of the black. Okay, you wouldn't fancy missing it, but there's a little bit more to do here. No problem. And now they're looking for an angle on the colour to try and bring
49.
reds into play.
Yes, the angler is going to leave himself on the black. He'd like to hit the left-hand side of the 3
50.
reds that are in front. The one on the left, he'd like to get that one because the bottom red pots. If he hits one full ball, he might not be on anything here. That was always the problem, catching a full ball. He's pushed one to the middle, though.
Yeah, and he got quite a bit of action on the cue ball, didn't he? Just watch
57.
the white hit then, and the backspin was still on it. And that's why he's on this red to the right middle. And that's all you're looking for. An easy ball to continue the break with.
58.
Just stopped short of the balk line, so he's okay. There's a possible 75 remaining. So, a couple of reds. Still needed after this colour. You see, well, in actual fact, a red and a black will put
62.
him 70 points ahead with just 67 remaining. So not far from the winning line in this frame. And with all his experience, he knew a quick start was of paramount importance.
Nice. 63.
So the black to leave his opponent needing a snooker.
Yes, you were talking about Mark's attributes, John. I think the biggest one is his temperament. I mean, this is a massive frame, isn't it, to not give Xiao Guodong any chance of getting back
70.
into the match. 70 and counting. Very good.
71.
Yeah, and he's had to work for this. Wasn't easy. He's had a brown, a blue. Five pinks. And now 4 blacks. This is his
78.
highest break of the match.
$79.
Quick glance at the scoreboard. Red, black, red, pink would get him
85.
to the 100.
$86.
I think this red, close to the pink, is available to the left middle. Well, he tried to disturb it, and he's just about on it. He hit more of the pink
93.
than he wanted to, but as I say, he's just on it.
He sent me a
94.
text late yesterday afternoon saying, Willie, I can't make a century. He can now.
And that's absolutely superbly played. And that is the 49th century of this year's Betfred World Championship.
101.
The record is 86. We've not started the quarter-finals yet. Well, that's not in, but that doesn't matter. And Xiao Guodong stays in his seat. Mark Selby, first century break of the match. And now 5 clear. 11-6. was important about all those statistics. Good record at the Crucible. So it's
Frame 19, Xiao Guodong to break.
Xiao Guodong trying to keep his hopes alive. He's got to win this frame. Terrific pot and a helpful little flick on the blue there, kept the cue ball short of the baulk line. He's got the green or the blue to play for now. Excellent pot. Deserve a bit of luck. Yeah, looking at that stat, his long pot success mark is not what he normally expects. I say Xiao is exactly what you need, 67%.
Seven.
He played that positional shot off the blue, absolutely inch perfect. First in, and a decent chance this.
14. $15.
Well, Xiao has played quite well in this match actually, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Mark Selby's going to close out now, a 13-6 winner. It just shows you the standard you have to get. I've been very impressed with the young man, but
22.
playing against one of the best players in the world. This is the standard you need to get.
23.
Played that with a trace of left-hand side, so when the cue ball came off the cushion it checked. But it just didn't stop the pace of the cue ball. So you're having to play this black with the rest.
Frame 19. Frame lock.
Right in the heart of the pocket. Played for a gap for a red to the right corner. But he always knew if he
30.
overran it, he'd have the one to the right middle. 41 points needed to get to
31.
the snooker's required stage in this frame and match winning opportunity.
Even though there's a couple of loose reds, the two reds he's looking at there, if it's the joint of those two reds directly above the black, this could be a frame and match winner, this one shot. Got the joint perfectly, brought another two reds into play. Perhaps he would have wished he'd played it a little bit harder. Is he not on
38.
this red? Oh, he's not on it. Can he bend it, John, with a little bit of size? I don't think so.
No, I don't think he can. And plus the fact with the red closest to the cue ball sort of stopping him playing with that little bit of left-hand side. He's having to play safe.
Yeah, maybe you thought on the previous black, John, that he couldn't really get into the cue ball if he played it any harder. Because as we know, it
Mark Selby,
tends to push
38.
through before it goes back. I thought he played the cannon perfectly, John, didn't you?
Yeah, well, when he hit them, I thought, well, that's inch perfect. But the cue ball, obviously, just ran on a little bit, and one of the reds he cannoned didn't move. And that was the one that covered the potting angle. Had a chance of a red to the right centre there, but fair play. He's gonna, well, he's basically saying to Mark, you're gonna have to win it. I'm not gonna give it you. Mark's just had a look at the possibility of a plant, two reds in the middle of the table. They are plant to the corner. It depends how close they are, whether you can move it. He's now looking, because he can't get through to the 2 balls, but he's thinking, can he make it into a 3-ball plan? Well, they're close enough, you could turn it. Hit the first one on the right hand side, pushes the second one to the left. Maybe worth playing. I don't see an alternative. No, I couldn't hit the first one on the right. Little flick off the green. Ooh, nearly crept the cue ball behind the yellow, but thin cut on here.
Oh, that's a little unlucky. That's what you don't need when you're trailing 12-6. Excellent pot. Kiss on a red, you'd expect to have been on the ball colour.
Xiao Guodong, 1.
Do you know, last night on this table, Neil Robertson played exactly the same type of shot, and he said it just drifted up. And it's just along that baulk line where you can get that. Yeah, you could see it curl. What a big difference it made. But Mark could have got a better cue ball. And there's a red going towards the corner. Well, there you see it. Mark can't get through to it. But there is a red in the middle of the table he can get through to, and he might be able to cut that back to the right corner and still get the cue ball back to baulk. Too thin, but he knew he'd get the cover with the 2 reds on the right hand side of the table. There you see it. And Xiao Guodong, well, he's taking a risk playing this red. Trying to get, he's got to get around the back of the black, avoid the red near the top cushion. Well, he didn't avoid the red near the top cushion, and worse way, he's knocked it over the corner, caught the bump of the middle pocket, and I'm just trying to think of anything else that could have gone wrong.
One. Six. Thank you. 7.
He can virtually get on anywhere he wants from that pink there. Decided to get rid of the one that's covering the black potting into the right hand corner, because obviously it's going back onto its own spot.
13.
So this now obviously a chance to win frame and match.
$14. 21.
16. 7.
22.
So the pink going in. 65 ahead, 67 remaining, but not for
28.
long. Pot this red. Now 66 points
29.
in front with only 59 left on the table. Xiao Guodong's race has been run. I think he's got a future in the game, this young man, but you play Mark Selby at the
35.
Crucible and you're always going to be up against it.
Yeah, I've been very
36.
impressed with him. It sounds strange, doesn't it, when you got beat 13-6, but he'll be disappointed. He knows he could have won at least 3 or 4 more frames than he has done.
Yeah, and it's all a learning experience, I think. First time here, you've got to
43.
take the positives out of it.
44. $51. 52.
'It's all over but the handshake now. And he'll keep an eye on the match this evening
59.
on this table, which is the third and final session between Marco Fu and Neil Robertson. And what a match that has been. 8-all at the
60.
moment. Wow, it doesn't matter about the blue here. Congratulations, Xiao Guodong and Mark Selby, without breaking a lot of sweat, really. Well played, young man, but Mark Selby is now through to the quarter-final. And he wins quite comfortably in the end by 13 frames to 6.